We print a lot of our window film using white ink, and I know that white ink has some characteristics that are worth discussing.
Yeah, absolutely. White ink is a great way to show privacy or just a little bit of kind of a frost effect. But things to keep in mind are that it's not entirely intuitive. It tends to lay on a lot heavier than you would think. So if you're specifying, say, a 5% opacity, that sometimes tends to come across a little heavier than you would expect. Another thing to be aware of, when you're specifying multiple opacities, you want to make sure you have a good kind of a heavy step between one opacity and the next. So if you're doing 3 opacities, it's a lot better to do, say, 5, 20, and 40% than 5, 10, and 15%. You won't see much difference there. There are a lot of other things to consider when using white ink, one of those being gradients. Gradients can be especially tricky.
As we've talked about opacities, because white ink prints so dense and so heavy, you often don't need to start your gradient at 100%, that you can get a very successful gradient that starts at, say, 75% coverage and goes up to clear. And then also, as you work up through the gradient, most of your, what you're looking for, that real soft transition, happens between 40% and your clear. Beyond 40%, it tends to get really dark and heavy. And these are things with our experience that we've worked out and will help kind of coach you through.